Alright guys, welcome back, and today, as promised, is Meal Planning Monday. So, just a little background on how I usually do my meal planning. So starting off, I roughly look at my inventory list if I need to. Usually I know pretty much what I have, but I always like to give it a little brief overlook just to make sure that there's nothing that needs to be used up pantry wise. Then I go in my fridge and I make a little note. I have mushrooms that need used, onions, and then some garlic toast from last night's spaghetti. So I want to make sure that I utilize those in this week's menu planning so that nothing goes bad. So what I have, and I always like to try and plan out my lunches as well. Now, it's just me and the girls for my lunches, but still, I like to know what I'm going to have. So, Monday, which is this morning, we have a big day for blah, 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 blah. We have a big day ahead of us. We're going to be out and about most of the day. So, I am putting a big roast in the crock pot. And that is going to go low and slow all day long. And then I am making green bean casserole, which is going to utilize some onions and mushrooms. And then corn on the cob, because I found a delicious looking Parmesan crusted corn on the cob. And I want to try it. And then hoagie buns. And the hoagie buns are actually not for tonight. They're for lunches tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and make them so that my husband will have lunch and everyone will... Oh. Alright, where was I? Anyway, so the hoagie buns I'm going to make today so that I can pack my husband's lunch tomorrow morning and he can have French dip sandwiches. And so that will be lunch on Tuesday. Tuesday, I am utilizing more onions and the toast and making French onion casserole, and that'll also use the juice that's left over from making the roast. I need a cup for this recipe, and that will be for me and then my lunches, whereas I am making footloaf, and yes, use your imagination because it is the Halloween season. So I am making a footloaf with corn and baked beans, and that is all from my pantry. All this for the whole week, including desserts, is all what I have. I am not going grocery shopping at all. This is all from my pantry. Because while I have stuff for an extended pantry, I mostly, like, everything is just a working pantry that I rotate through. I just have a lot in there, and then my freezer. So anyway, that is going to be that. And then also for Wednesday's lunch, if I don't want leftovers or if I don't want French onion casserole, I will add some of my beef bone broth and make it a French onion soup and just do it that way. Wednesday, I will not be home for dinner, so they will have leftovers, and then I will make mac and cheese and potatoes to go with those leftovers. And then there's also tuna, and there's bean soup and split pea and ham soup that they could have if they don't want that. Thursday, and I do this sometimes just because I know what my family likes, but then I just get in the mood for things and I just want it. So I do it this way. So I'm going to put bone and skin on chicken breast in the crock pot Thursday morning. And then with that chicken, I am making everyone chicken pot pie, and then that'll also be my husband's lunch for Friday. But I am going to make me loaded cauliflower chicken casserole, and then of course, if the kids want to eat that with me, they can. But most likely that'll just be me, and everyone else will eat the chicken pot pie, which is fine because it'll all come from the same amount of chicken. I'm just going to split it between 2 meals instead of putting it all in the chicken pot pie. Alright, Friday, for lunches, we can either have leftovers Or I have stuff for black bean tacos and Mexican rice if we would rather have that. And then for dinner, I am making steak and ale soup and then making a crusty bread. I have some dark beer that I don't particularly want to drink. I've already had one of them. It came in a variety pack. And it has hints of coffee in it. And I'm not about, I love coffee, but I'm not about having it in my beer. So I'm going to put the other one that I have in this soup, and I think it'll be really good. So this, again, will all be from pantry items and steaks from the freezer. Now, Saturday and Sunday are a little different because I usually do a brunch instead of lunch, since my husband is usually home on these 2 days, and so he lets me sleep in since I'm up around 4 o'clock every morning during the week. So when I decide to get up, which is brunch time, on Saturday I plan on making pumpkin French toast with all the fixings, so scrambled eggs, hash brown casserole, sausage, you name it. We'll probably have it with the pumpkin French toast. And then that same morning-ish time, I will put all the stuff for chili in the crock pot, and then it will slow cook all day long, and we will have chili for dinner. Sunday, same way, we'll have brunch. I'm going to make blueberry turnovers, and then we're probably just going to have sausage. I may go ahead and just cook extra this day, and then I can just warm it up on Sunday. And then for dinner Sunday, I am making gumbo, and I know that's spelled wrong, so ignore that. But I'm going to have ciabatta bread with it. We do not use rice with our gumbo. We like it with some really crusty bread, and it just soaks up all that goodness. And then, of course, these will both make leftovers to where if someone gets hungry, also it'll give lunches for next week for me or my husband, so it gives us a head start for the following week on lunches. Now, another thing I like to do is to go ahead and plan out what I'm wanting for desserts. I usually pick 1 or 2 desserts, and then I don't give them a specific day. I just know that I have the stuff to make them, and then probably, I'm going to say Tuesday, I'll make pumpkin coffee cake. And that's just because then I can have it with my coffee the whole rest of the week. So pumpkin coffee cake is one of the ones that I want to make, and then the other is white chocolate Buckeyes, because Buckeyes are one of my husband's favorite holiday candies, and I found some white chocolate coating, so that's probably what I'm going to make him as a surprise for in his lunches. Also, this right here, the green bean casserole that I'm making today, I will go ahead and do a video on that because it is a make-ahead version. I'll show you how to make it ahead for holiday times, so that you don't have to be doing that the day of, and then just for your own personal enjoyment. That is them eating their breakfast. So I hope you enjoyed this Meal Planning Monday. I hope it gave you some inspiration. Make sure to let me know if you want to see any of these recipes, and I will turn on the camera and let you go crazy with all these delicious things. So I will see you guys again tomorrow, and thanks for watching. I hope you have a great Monday.